gods. I have moved every precious stone your people worship upon. My mark will be left on this world forever.
No! Brutal and bloodthirsty warriors are ravaging the land, and only a fatherless peasant has the strength to unite and overcome. Hello there to everyone, and thank you once again for tuning into RealScreenReviews.com. I am, of course, movie critic Nick Iacobucci, and our next movie review is The Immortals. This actioneer opened around the world on Friday, November 13th, 2011, and it stars Henry Cavill, Mickey Rourke, Frida Pinto, Stephen Dorff, and John Hurt. This film comes to us from director Tarsem Singh, the director of The Cell with J-Lo from over a decade ago. He now takes the reins of what could be the next juggernaut success in the style of 300 and attempts to combine action and bloody good fun. This tale tells of King Hyperion and his murderous and unrelenting quest to find the lost bow of Epirus. Hyperion and his army are destroying everything in their path because if the bow is found, he will then have the power to take down the gods and achieve the status of supreme ruler. Along his journey, he will cross the path of a young warrior in training named Theseus. Theseus originally set out only in rage to get revenge on those that murdered his mother, but soon it evolves into much more than a mission for vengeance. Theseus then gathers a handful of trusted soldiers, and together they will stop at nothing in order to bring peace to the heavens and to the earth. Well, people, when it comes to blood and gore, The Immortals is just like the recent Conan or Season of the Witch, but unlike those films, this one is actually decent. When I say decent, I mean that there is at least a storyline that is being followed, and they surrounded the project with credible acting talent. I am very glad that the filmmakers went straight for the R rating and kept the film true to its genre. Now, there is strong and relentless gory violence, but the violence really had a nice hint of photographic elegance to it. I like director Tarsem Singh because he takes chances. Even though I did not love The Cell, I always thought that it was a rather bold film for a Hollywood film. Immortals doesn't go out on quite such a limb, but it still lends as much cinematic style as it does a body count. His biggest problem as a filmmaker is that his only concern is visual style and almost nothing else. Dialogue, characters, and even spots of editing suffer when you look at the project on a whole. Now, the battles are big and there are a lot of them. The action is pretty intense and it is enhanced by the 3D visuals. Immortals has hand-to-hand combat as well as mass conflicts throughout and thoroughly entertains on this level. You have geysers of blood, decapitations, and even self-tongue removal finds its way into this movie. I will say that when the gods fight the titans, it really is something exceptional, and they do give you one heck of a finale. However, outside of the eye candy, there really isn't much left to compliment. Okay, this being from the makers of 300, it's very similar to that film, even down to the battle speech. One issue is this film has absolutely nothing to do with that one, and it's marketed it almost as if this were a sequel. Everywhere that I have looked for the last few weeks, all that I have seen are ads for this movie, and the big problem facing The Immortals, it's not the smash hit that it claims to be. You know, 300 proved itself a success before anyone called it a blockbuster, and just because you can capture the feel of a film, that doesn't mean that you can duplicate its financial success. Now, you can also say that this isn't the tightest script ever written. Throughout the entire feature, every town, village, or even individual home was located on a cliff. I mean, I've heard of beachfront property, but come on. Though not awful, it never achieves those moments of genuine movie magic or wow factor. There were spots of CGI shoddiness, and I'm pretty positive that the creative liberties that were taken when outlining this mythological adventure will make some experts in that field a little mad. You know that there are many times when people say to me that they won't watch foreign films because they don't want to read the subtitles. Well, my opinion is that the dialogue from The Immortals is so bad in some spots that it could have been a foreign film without subtitles, and that probably would have been an improvement. Now, at 1 hour and 50 minutes, this film didn't feel too long, but it didn't need to be any longer than it was in the first place. I would say not to take a date to this if you have any plans of having sex later in the evening, because this most certainly isn't what you would call a date movie. It looks great, but it really doesn't have anything to back that up, and it's better than Clash of the Titans, but is that even a compliment either? This average film is trying so damn hard to be this great film, and unfortunately it just doesn't live up to its own hype. Only because of how cool it looks and the fight sequences, I'll give Immortals a very generous, and let me say that again, a very generous, but still recommended 2.5 stars out of 4. And remember people, I'm not always right, but only when it comes to the movies, and thank you for your attention.
Today, we fight for honor!